Callie. Hey, what's up? I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. What's up in the UK? Hello, hello, hello. I'm on both of the social medias, so I'm looking at both screens or trying to look at both screens, if that makes any sense. What's good? What's good, Doc? What's good? So I want to come to you guys real quick and talk about something. I've had a lot of emails that I've been checking throughout the day from people. Of course, you guys know I'm a relationship expert. I do deal with relationships, but I also deal with people on the spiritual end, also the natural end, for as life and finances and becoming better and doing better. And so I just want to come and address something. Everybody know that I'm also the relationship expert for Wifey in Training. If you follow Wifey in Training on Instagram, on Facebook, you need to understand there are some things coming this way. Single ladies, DM me on Facebook. If you want to be a part of the private group, there is a private group. There are thousands of women in that group. We do some very phenomenal things with Wifey in Training. I partner with Wifey in Training to do a lot, especially when it comes to my mentees and people that are trying to start businesses. I partner with Wifey in Training to help people start businesses. So yes, I am actually taking new clients and everything. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Listen, I had an email today, and the email was about a relationship. It was a woman who wanted tips. She asked me, she said, "Can you give me tips on being a woman waiting on the man God has for me?" And one of the things that I said to her, and it was something that she really had not heard, it was the Bible says, when a man findeth a wife, he finds a good thing. And a lot of people don't understand. They take Proverbs to think that Proverbs was something that was for women. Actually, Proverbs was being told to a man. His mother was telling him things to look for, was telling him different things. So he was being taught as a man what it comes to find and look for in a woman. So I need you guys to understand that. But women, you have to start, and this goes for anybody, whether it's relationships. I seem to talk about relationships a lot because that's what I do, but you can also apply this in any area of your life, whether it's business, whether it's promotion, whether it's entrepreneurship. What you have to understand is one of the main things, you have to see yourself in your future, and you have to address yourself as that. And a lot of people don't do that. They want to address their now situation, but they don't want to address where they see themselves in the future, where they see their families in the future, where they see their bank account in the future, where they see themselves in health-wise in the future. Wherever you want to be in your future, it's time for you to step outside of your present and see yourself in that future. That's not only just a part of activating who you want to be, but that's activating your faith as well. How can you say you want to be a businessman or woman, but you're still tripping on the job that you have instead of actually doing your homework to see what it is you need to do to become whatever you want to do in whatever business you want to do? You can't say, "I want to be better," but you stay in the same place. You can't say, "I want to do better," but you remain in the same place. No matter where you are in life, if you are not moving, it's because you aren't moving. It's because you aren't activating who you are. You don't see yourself where you need to be, and you're not getting there. That's the problem. It's great to have a dream. It's great to have a thought. It's great to feel a certain way. It's great to want to do things. All that is great. But if you're thinking about being great and you're not actually moving towards greatness, the problem is not people. The problem is nothing else but yourself. You are the reason why you aren't moving. You are the reason why you aren't doing. You are the reason why things aren't becoming better in your life. You can't check anybody else. You got to be able to check yourself, because people cannot put the work in for you. I tell my mentees all the time, I'm going to give you the fire that I have. I have fire, and people always ask me, "How do you do all the things that you do? How do you see the clients that you see in the daytime? Still be a mother, still be the person that you need to be within your home?" Yes, I have a very busy schedule, and yes, it is very hectic, and to me, it's just getting started. But yet and still, I see myself where I want to be, and I'm activating that, and I'm going towards that, because I realize only what I do and only the work I put forth is the only fruit that's going to be grown out of my harvest. You can plant seeds all the time, but if you don't plant the seeds and water the seeds and take care of the seeds aren't going to grow. You can't just expect to put something in the ground and automatically it's going to grow. You can put a seed in the ground, and if it's not raining, you have to be the water. I see my plants grow very well when I give them food, when I water them, when I nurture them, when I put them in the sun at the right time, when I take care of them, they grow. So whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's your business, whether it's yourself and spiritual, whether it's your relationship, you have to know when to water it, when to give it the right food, when to set it in the sun, when to do the things that you need to do to help yourself or your relationship grow. But in the midst of all of that, you have to quit talking in the present and in the past, because the present is only the present. And the Bible even says, take no thought about tomorrow. Yes, we have to live in the day, but that doesn't mean you don't dwell just on your future saying, okay, well, I'll be great tomorrow. No, be great today. When the Bible says take no thought about tomorrow, that means you're worried because he's already taken care of your tomorrow. That means worrying about how things are going to get done, worrying about this business. No, you take care of what you need to take care of, and tomorrow's going to be the day. And there's too many people that have great ideas. There's too many people that start great businesses. And the thing I hate seeing the most is seeing somebody publish something on social media about their business and about how they're going to start something and how they're going to be great in something. And then a month later or to 6 months later, they're no longer doing that. And to me, I'm like, okay, if you wanted to be great and if you wanted to do this thing, why all of a sudden are you stopping? For one, a lot of people see themselves in the future, but if they don't have people having their back, they automatically feel like it's not a great thing to do. You have to understand this. It takes a while sometimes for people to latch on to what you're doing. Not everybody's going to have that Oprah success overnight. And not only that, Oprah had to do some things herself. Don't look at where a person is in their life and automatically feel like if you don't get there. I have some mentees that say that they look and after a week, if their numbers haven't changed, if they haven't started getting any phone calls, if they're not doing what I'm doing, something that I have been really, really grinding at for almost 2 years, if they're not where I am, then they feel like they're not anywhere. It's amazing because you know how Facebook gives you these memories. And I looked 2 years ago, I had like maybe 4,000 people following me on Instagram. And now I have almost 58,000 people that are following me on Instagram. So, and I looked at that and was like, wow, what did you do? Because I had to ask myself, girl, what did you do for all these people to just follow you like this and just to be supporting you like this? I remain consistent. I did not give up. I post something and I don't take it back. It doesn't matter what I post. As long as I know it's a good post, it may not be a good post to people then, but it may hit people later. I have posts sometimes that I posted last year, 2 years ago that are getting thousands of likes, and the year before that, it got 26. So it's all about time and it's all about consistency and it's all about you not giving up on yourself. So stop. Stop seeing yourself in your now. Stop talking about your now. Stop making now relevant when it's irrelevant, because your future is what's relevant. Your future and who you want to be, what you desire to do, that's what's important. But you got to invest in you. If you don't invest in you, then I don't know what you're going to be able to do in life, because you're not going to do anything. Honestly, I went to the bank this morning and I was talking to my business banker about some things in business and some things that I desire and some things that I want. Because there's certain levels in business that you want to be able to get to. And one of the things that she told me was there are some things that I have to invest in that I didn't even think I needed to invest in just to make my business name great and just to give me a great business rapport. So I have to invest in things that I didn't even think were relevant in order to make my business relevant. And that's what you have to understand. So many people want so many things, but they don't want to invest. They don't want to invest in the time to figure out how to do it. They don't want to educate themselves. They don't want to do better. And most importantly, they don't want to take chances. I told one of my mentees yesterday, mistakes make great opportunities, and the mistakes are what make you great. Your mistakes in business, your mistakes in life, that's what makes you great. God will take whatever it is and whatever mistake you make in business. Okay, so you put your money in something and you do it the wrong way, but it ends up a great business investment. You have to understand you can't be afraid to step out and do things. You can't be afraid to make mistakes, because in business, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's going to make you great. You don't always have it all. Some people think because I have a college education, I should have everything that I need and everything should go perfect and everything should go right. And what you don't understand is, yes, education is great, but life has its own manuals that deals its own hands and do its own things and treat you the way that it's going to treat you in order to make you a better person. But if you try to stop life, you're stopping yourself. When you stop life, you stop yourself. When you stop things from moving and shaking and mistakes from happening, you stop yourself. You have to go through a process. Everything in life is a process. So whether it's a business you want, it's a process. You're not always going to make the right investments, but you're going to learn. The wrong investment will help you not make wrong investments later on. But if you make right investments all the time, you never know what it's like to make the wrong investment in business. But you have to make wonderful mistakes sometimes. I know that sounds crazy, but you got to make good mistakes because good mistakes make you greater. Good mistakes make your business greater. Even scientists, I say it all the time about scientists. Every scientist that has experimented with something made a mistake and it made the greatest invention. Nobody thought that, even Nike, who thought that taking, they tried so many different formulas, so many different things, but then when they tried a waffle and a shoe, they made the bottom of a sneaker. That was just something they were just trying, just a mistake that was great. Everything. Einstein made so many inventions by mistakes. What mistakes have you made in your business that's going to make you great? But the problem is we take mistakes in life and we stay down on them. We take mistakes in life and we're like, okay, you know what? I don't ever want to do this again. I don't ever want to do that again. But look at it again. Go back and look at your business plan again. Go back and look over your mistakes and the wrong turns you made in business and in investments and being a great person, a great entrepreneur. Go back and look at it and you're going to see this actually wasn't a mistake. This was something that was great. That actually wasn't a bad post. It was a great post. I tell my mentees all the time, and I see one of my mentees are on Instagram, overcoming_her8. Go follow her. You will have a great, great experience following her. You'll always be motivated following her, following overcoming her overcoming_her8. One of the things we have to understand, our purpose is made out of mistakes. Everything we do is made out of mistakes. So in everything that you do in life, it's not always going to be perfect, but you have to realize that your mistakes is what makes you great. That's it. It even goes in a spiritual sense. Romans 8:28 said all things work together for those who love the Lord, that are called according to the purpose. And it's the things that you made a mistake in. It's the times where, you were allowed to be tested in things. That's what made you greater. That's what birthed out ministry. You are the man and woman of God you are today because why? Your mistakes. Because why? Because of your downfalls. Because why? Because of your tests, trials, and tribulations. They only come to make you greater. If every time you come out, Pastor said it last night too. If every time you go in a test, you're up and you go in the valley. Every time you go up, you should go up higher. Yes, you're going to be tested again, but when you come out of that test, you're going to be higher. So stop allowing things in your life to stop you from being who you need to be in your future. Stop allowing things in your life to stop you from speaking and walking and moving towards your future. If your future is a home, you feel like you don't have what you have, keep going and moving and get your home. If your future is a marriage and a relationship, keep going and moving because your future will be that. If your future is a healthy body when the doctors have told you that you won't be healed and you know that, keep moving towards your future of your body being healed. You hold the power to be who you need to be. You hold the power to be great. You hold the power of your manifestation. You hold the power of your blessing. If you're not getting what you need in life, it's only because you're not moving. You have to understand it's your moving that moves God. It's how you operate that moves God. God already have everything. He got your future in alignment. He know how great your business is going to be. He know what business loans you're going to need. He knows what business investors you're going to need. He knows what people that are already connected to make your name great. He has people like Arthur Williams that are Bless AJ on Instagram who has a page just to empower and to inspire other people that are doing things in business. He shares other people's stuff. That's what you have to understand. God has people strategically aligned in a place in your life, in your season, in your time that's going to push you into your future. But if you don't get to moving, I'm telling you right now, you won't get anywhere. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Faith without works is dead. You please God with your faith, but you also please God with your works. You please God with moving. You don't have to always know what to do. You don't have to know what to do. It's not in God's plan for you to know what to do. Because honestly, if we knew what to do, we wouldn't need God. It's mistakes, trials, and tribulations that even brought us to him. Because if life wasn't going in the way that it was going in my life years ago, I wouldn't have never came to God. I didn't feel like I needed him. I was good. But things happen. Life happened. You hit the bottom of the ship. And it's sinking, and you in the Titanic. And all of a sudden you look up and there's God. So if he got you out of that mess then, he'll get you out of that mess now. But what you have to understand, great people, is you have to see yourself the way God sees you. You have to see yourself the way when you were up. Remember this time. Remember when you wanted something and you prayed to God about it and God reassured you that thing was going to happen. God reassured you that it was going to come to pass. God reassured you that he was going to do it. Those times, and you felt so good. You felt so bubbly. You felt so ready. You felt not anxious, but you felt so excited because you felt how powerful God's word was over your life. And you knew that nothing can separate you from the word that God had for your life. And you got to moving, you got to shaking, you got to doing the things you needed to do. That same fire you had then, just because it took a week or 2 weeks or 3 months or 3 years or 16 years, however long it's been taken for you for God's word to come to pass over your life, don't give up on it. Because he's not going to take his word back. The problem is we take our word back. I was talking to a sister day before yesterday. She called and we were on the phone for a few hours just talking about the goodness of God. And just talking about how sometimes the Bible says if we delight ourselves with him, he'll give us the desires of our heart. He doesn't say how he's going to give us our desires. He doesn't say what we're going to have to go through to get it. He doesn't tell you the hell that you're going to have to deal with. He doesn't tell you the tears you're going to have to cry. He's going to tease them. He doesn't tell you all the things, but he does tell you that he will give you the desires of your heart. And the problem is, in the midst of God making, this is what you guys have to understand. Some of the things that you want God to do in your life, God has to align it and God has to mold it to fit your life. I'm going to go right after this because I just think this is an awesome spot to end on. So many things that you want God to do in your life are not prepared, are not in alignment, are not ready to be in the place and where you are right now. But God is the type of God who will make the situation ready, who will mold whatever it is that we need molded to be molded. And in the midst of things being molded for us, and in the midst of things being made for us, guess what? All hell may break loose. In the midst of all hell breaking loose, what is the first thing we do? God, I don't even know if I want this no more. God, you know what? You said, because I've even said it at times. I've been like, Lord, you said if I delight myself in you, you'll give me the desires of my heart. So guess what? God start doing stuff. Then all of a sudden stuff start moving. Then all of a sudden all hell start breaking loose. So I go to God and I say, God, you said if I delight myself in you, you'll give me the desires of my heart. Well, my desires, I don't want it no more. And God was like, no. Just because I didn't tell you how I was going to give you the desires of your heart, just because I didn't tell you how it was going to go down, just because I didn't give you the plan that I have for your life. I knew the plan, but you didn't know the plan. Just because I'm doing something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, that's something that makes you want to trust me more. That's something that makes you want to be in the vein and be in me more. That thing. That don't mean try to give it back to me. No, don't be an Indian giver. Don't try to give back the blessing. This is literally what God told me. God said, I'm not going to take away what I'm about to bless you with. You ask for it. And sometimes for God to give us what we want and give us what we desire, he has to make it. He has to mold it. Sarah couldn't have kids for a while. But what God do? In her old age, old as dirt, God started making and molding and forming a whole child. And yes, she had to go through some things because her husband couldn't even talk. She had to go through it alone. She didn't know she was going to have to go through that by herself like that, not have nobody to talk to like that. But it was all a part of making God's plan come into form for her life. He doesn't tell us how. Y'all got to understand that. But I don't want you to stop seeing your future. I don't want you to stop seeing what God is trying to do. I don't want you to stop believing and trusting in God all because things don't look like what they should look like. And anybody know if you in God, things ain't always easy. People that have a true relationship with God, an intimate relationship with God, God ain't your side chick. God ain't your side dude. And if you want to know what I mean by that when I say God ain't your side chick, God ain't your side dude, that means you just go to church on Sundays and you just sit there. But on Monday through Monday, you don't read your Bible. You don't go to Bible study. You keep God on the side for whenever you need him. And you try to use the fact that I go to church as enough. So when situations come, it's kind of hard for you to get the understanding of what's really going on. But when you have a true relationship with God, and you want something, he going to make sure whatever it is that you want, he going to get the glory out of it. He'll remove whoever he got to remove, even if it's you, for you to get blessed. What happened to Abraham? He couldn't say a doggone word. He shut him completely up. That was his blessing. That was his blessing that he was being blessed with. But he got shut up in the midst of his own blessing. Because God refuses to allow him to self-destruct his own blessing. So you have to look at that. Whatever it is, go back on the things that you desire God to do. Look at it. Some of you haven't even looked at your vision. Some of you hadn't even looked at the things that you wanted God to do in a while. Some of you haven't opened that book, that journal. Some of you hadn't checked that email. Some of you haven't done anything in a while. Go back and look at these things that you want God to do and start speaking these things into existence so God can do it. Don't sleep on your dreams. And that was the time in my life, y'all, I'm going to be real. I used to sleep on stuff because I didn't want to go through nothing because I already knew. In order for me to get what it is that God want me to get, I got to go through tests, trials, and tribulations. And to be honest with you, I don't feel like it. I told God, I was like, look, I have too much going on right now. I have told God that before. I got too much going on right now to be sitting up here being tested for something that really and truly is mine and that I'm going to be greater in. Isn't that crazy, y'all? Like me, that's how I talk to God. I'm just being transparent and real because that's the only way I know how to be. There have been times that I've asked God for stuff and God has told me it's time for me to give you what you have asked me for. And I automatically knew. I've been in this thing too long. My relationship with God is too deep. My prophetic gift is too strong for me not to know what happens or what goes into play in order for me to get what God has for me. I got to go through something. And my first thing, I'll be like, Lord, I'll be trying to put him on a schedule like, okay, so I tell you what, God, I'll go ahead and I don't know if October's good. November is too close to Christmas. I don't know if I want to go through this right now. Let me get back at you when I'm ready to go through it. Because that means I'm going to have to take time out of my schedule to go through my test. I'm just being honest, y'all. I am. I'm being honest. I've done God like that before. I've put him on a schedule like, hey, I don't mind going through this, but let's go through it another day, another time. My schedule is not allowing me right now. But God is like, you don't have a schedule. This is a part of your schedule. And you have to go through this right now. Because if you don't now, your whole future and the things that you believe in me and the things that you're believing in God for is going to be off track. And that's what guys don't understand. God has our life aligned to the T. And when we don't go through our test, when we don't go through what it is for God to give us what we desire, for God to give us what we need, it's like trying to make cornbread without the egg. Now, one day I made cornbread, and it's okay for me to forget the sugar. It's okay sometimes for me to use water instead of milk. But it's not okay for me to miss the egg. You're not going to have no cornbread without the egg. Trying to get to your future, you guys, without the egg, without the piece that God's trying to give you, It's not gonna make you, it's not gonna help you rise. That egg, believe it or not, makes cornbread rise, makes cake rise. It does all that stuff. It makes it where it's not flat. It excels it. It propels it. It moves it. It manifests. It's the reason why it rises up higher to a whole nother level than it was when you poured it in the pan. So whatever it is that you're asking God for, and God has to put certain things in your life, in your timing, test, trials, and tribulations, and things, because that's the egg in your life that's going to help you rise. But if you want to miss out on the egg and say, okay, I want to do everything but this, you're going to go forth. You're going to go higher in a flat atmosphere. So it's like you really should have stayed where you was. Who can eat cornbread without an egg? Who can eat cake without an egg? You might as well throw it away. It's no good. It's not going to be complete. So whatever it is in your life that deals with your future, you have to do what it is that you need to do. Simple, I think it's Simple We 76. Go ahead and DM me, and we will talk on another note when it comes to your marriage and your relationships. We'll deal with that. But I want you guys to understand, whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that you want, I challenge you guys to go back. Go back to the things that the test that you run from. And I know it sounds crazy, like, she on here telling me to go back to the things and the things that God's telling me to do, because I'm telling you, doing what God wants you to do is truly going to manifest and truly going to open doors for you that you didn't even knock on. Ways for you that you didn't even know that needed to be made. Because there's certain ingredients that you have to have in order for you to get to your promise, in order for you to get to the manifestation. Ladies and gentlemen, there are certain things that you have to do in order for you to be a great businessman or woman. There's great things for you to do in order for your body to be healed. There are things and pieces that you need in order for relationship and marriages to be restored, for you to be found, for you to go and find. There are things that you need to do in order for these things to happen. And if you run from your test, and if you tell God you don't want to take the test, and if you tell God what you don't want to do, you put off your blessing. So don't put off your blessing all because... And you know what that really means, though? That really means that you don't want to pray. You don't want to fast. You don't want to seek God. You don't want to trust God. You don't want to get in Him. Yeah, it gets lonely at the top. Yeah, it gets lonely during the test, trials, and tribulations. And that's the problem. We don't want to go through that phase when it's just us and God. Like, who wouldn't want to just go through a phase when it's just you and God? That's like the best time in life. We may not understand it physically, but spiritually and mentally, it's going to get better by and by. We're going to get the understanding of it, because you got to understand this. You can go through a test, trial, and a tribulation for a week. You thinking in your mind that, oh my God, I'm going to be going through this for months. I'm going to be going through this for years. It's not going to be restored. I'm going to be this, and this. And God looking like, if you just go ahead and go through it. I built heaven and earth in a week. I can do this whole thing in a day. We prolong our blessings because we prolong our going through. We prolong our process. God can say, you know what, I'm going to fix this thing by the weekend. Some of you may be dealing with something, and God can be saying, I'm ready to fix this thing by the weekend. It's Thursday. It is Thursday. He could do it by the weekend. He don't need no time. He is time. He owns times in his hand, and he turn it and stop it and go and do whatever he wants to. He can stop time to put you in time. That's the kind of God that we serve. But if you feel like, okay, I don't want to go through it, then guess what? You're stopping your time. So stop running from whatever it is that's going to better your future. See yourself how you're supposed to be in your future. Allow God to do whatever it is that He wants to do in your future. Some of you sitting up here crying over your marriage and crying over your husband and your wife, and you angry and upset, but God is telling you to pray. You don't even want to pray. But as soon as you get down on your knees and pray, boom, it's restored just like that. Like all I had to do was pray. Yes, that's all you had to do was pray. A lot of you are wanting loans, and a lot of you are wanting business things. A lot of you are wanting just your big break. I just want my big break. But God is telling you to shut the door to your home and pray. You don't want to do it because you want to go have lunch. You want to go have dinner. You want to go shop. You want to go laugh and talk. You want to go run around, chase squirrels. You want to do all of that. But as soon as you close your door and you pray, boom, you look up and it's something on social media that you posted last year. It's done got all these hits, and all of a sudden somebody calling you wanting to know where you are. Gotta find you. But you thought it was going to take forever. But what took forever was you getting around your mind to move the enemy out of the way, because the enemy knows when your blessing is coming. The enemy knows when your manifestation is coming. He knows how close it is, and the worst and the most hellacious time in your life, that's when he knows God is close. So he's like, let me go ahead and discourage them. Let me go ahead and shake some stuff up. Let me go ahead and act a plumb fool in their life. And let me mess up their mindset so they won't go to God no more. So boom, you contemplating whether or not you're going to go to God or not. Or you too busy sitting around here complaining about the situation instead of God, you're going to make a way. Instead of God, I've been here before. Instead of God, go ahead and do what you're going to do in my life. Go ahead and move. Go ahead and mold. Go ahead and do, because you are a restorer of all things. Do what you're going to do. And when you give God access to your problem, he gives you access to your promise. And people don't understand that. We don't want to give God access to our problem because, for one, we're too busy thinking, what in the world is going on? How did this happen? When is this going to be over? It's going to be over when you give God access to your problem. It's going to be over when you tell him, go ahead, God, do what you're going to do, because I know that you can do anything. Bible study was so crunk last night, just in case you guys want to know where I attend church. I attend church at Impact Ministries at 1129 Delaware Street, where Pastor Jay and Lady Crystal Matthews is my pastor. But one of the things that he even spoke about last night was how you got to put a but on the end of everything, but God. I have no money in my bank, but God. My bills are due, but God. My body is sick, but God. My marriage is on the rocks, but God. When you connect God to whatever it is that you want, God then gets access to change it. When you give God access to your problems, God gives you access to your promise. If you don't remember nothing else, remember that rhema word that God just gave me just then. When you give God access to your problems, God gives you access to your promise. I'm going to be real, when we going through the last thing we want to do is go to God. We go to God when we tired, but we don't go to God automatically like, boom, there's an issue. Some people curse. Some people worry. Some people, hang their head down. Some people shut themselves out. Some people are mad at everybody else. Some people, are workaholics. Some people focus on everything in life but what they need to focus on. But then, boom, as soon as they give God access, it's like, well, dang, I should have been done this a long time ago. Had I known that God was going to make a way, I would have gave it to him 2 weeks ago. I have lost 2 weeks. But then again, a test comes again. And that's what you have to remember. Oh, last time I went through this for 2 weeks. Then I gave it to God, and God fixed it within 20 minutes. So instead of me going through this for 2 weeks, let me go ahead and give it to God and let him fix it. And that's what you have to understand. So the last thing I want you guys to remember, go ahead and share this with your people on Facebook. Tag somebody, let them know, let them be encouraged, because it's a blessing to give. It's a blessing to give. So be a giver, be a cheerful giver, and share this with people, because when you give God access to your problems, God gives you access to the promise. That's it. That's all you need to know. So whatever it is that you're dealing with right now, whatever your situation is or whatever you're trying to get to, give it. Give it to Jesus. Give it to God and let him fix it. Let him mold it. Let him make it. Let him do what he do, because he gonna do what he do. And sometimes what's so incredible is God will do stuff just so he can get the glory. Just so we could say, oh my God, there was nobody but God. Because I have no idea how that way was going to be made, how the door was going to open, how things were going to change. Whew. And now that it has, I know it was God. And that's when God was like, the purpose has met the promise, because I'm getting the glory out of it. It's such an easy trade. We give things to God. We trust God to do it. God makes a way. We tell people God did it. We ain't done nothing. That's what we have to understand. We don't do nothing but give it to God. And God gives us everything. And we tell everybody that he did it. And boom, what did you lose? That's so what's up. To me it is. So Do me a favor, you guys. You can go to my website. I am rachelg.com and subscribe to my website. I'm going to start doing morning motivations with you guys. And also send a request to the Wifey in Training group. Send a request to the Wifey in Training group. I may slide in there a little bit this afternoon and give everybody, right after my last client, I'm going to slide in and I'm going to give the ladies in that group a few tips and things that will only be in that group. Only be in that group. Also, I am taking new clients, and yes, my website does have my prices, but I also have something new that I'm doing, which it's a budget meter. Because I believe that people want to be great. I have a few minutes before my next client. I believe that people want to be great, but some people don't have what they need to be great. They don't have what they need financially. So I have a program that will meet your budget, and wherever your budget is, we will connect with your budget, and you'll also still be able to connect with me. So you don't need hundreds of dollars to connect with me when your budget will allow you to connect with me, but you have to be able to desire to want to invest in yourself. So God bless you all. Thank you very much. You can slide in my DM on Instagram if you have any questions or anything. You can also hit me up in my inbox. I do have the messenger now, you guys. I'm not a big messenger person. I'm not a big DM person. It's easier to text me, 646-651-3546. That is my business. That's my personal business cell that I do deal with business on that. So you guys just do me a favor and hit me up there. But I have to go. Bugs Lightyear is telling me that knocking on this thing let me know that I actually have a session that I'm going to be in. So God bless you all. And remember, when you give God your problem, say it with me. God gives you your promise. So you have to give your problem to God in order for him to give you your promise. God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching, rocking, and sharing, and commenting. Have an awesome and wonderful day. Bye-bye, Instagrammers. Yes. Yes, 646-651-3546. That be me. That be me. Bye-bye.